Hey y'all, it's Sarah and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's so great to have you guys back for another video. You can find me over on Instagram at The Magical Reader. I really wanted to get something up for you guys. I really wanted to film. My level of preparation is on me, okay? But the good thing is I should actually be okay for this video because what we're doing today is we are ranking the 13 completed series that I have finished and have on my shelves. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So what I've done is I've taken each of the 13 series that I have on my shelf that I have finished, and I have ranked them for you guys from 13 to number 1. I am not a professional reviewer. I review a lot of books, but this is not my job. I saw a meme going around on Instagram, and it was like, my book ratings are not legit, they're just a vibe. That's me, okay? Like, this is just a vibe. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Hopefully you guys will get to know my reading preferences pretty well. So let's jump on into it. All right, so first one we have up here is The Bridge Kingdom. This is currently a duology. There's a third one that's coming out soon, but it's more of a standalone in the series. This duology is an enemies to lovers fantasy romance. The good thing about all 13 of these series is that if I don't like a book, I don't finish it. So all 13 of these series are good. This one is coming in last for me. It seemed like something I've read before. I liked that it was short. I liked the enemies to lovers romance, but it happened a little too neatly for me. The ending of the duology is incredible, like heart racing, the whole shebang. It's really, really good. But for me, this just seemed a little bit familiar. I did like the setting though. It's like Jungle Island, so that's pretty cool. You've probably seen this all over the internet. It is very good, but not a favorite. Number 12 on my list is the Fable Duology. Something you might notice is that I'm more of a long series kind of girl, so I really did like this duology. Fable was on my top 10 books of 2020. I think it's beautifully written. I love the world, but it's too short of a world for me. I wanted more books in this series, but this is a really great story. It reads pretty young YA, so I would definitely gift this to someone in their teens, even their younger teens who would really like this story. The setting in this one as well is very tropical and lush with coral reefs and gems and things like that. So really good, but not a fully fleshed out world for me. Number 11 for me is going to be the Robert Langdon series. This is a series written by Dan Brown, famously The Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, Inferno, Origin, and this is a really great series. Individually, I love each of these books. I think Angels and Demons is probably the best one, but I love all of them. It's a mystery thriller series based in the world of religion and history and art and symbols, and I think it's a really cool series. Number 10 is going to be Shadow and Bone. I really, really loved these books. I know some people don't love them, and that's okay, but I really do enjoy these. Not as much as Six of Crows, which, spoiler alert, you'll see this coming up here soon. I find Leigh Bardugo's writing to be very approachable. I think it's very easy to consume. I think a younger teen would love these as well. I read all 3 of these books in 1 week, if that tells you anything about how easy, and digestible they are to read. I really do love this world. I think it's a very cool, magic system and that sort of thing. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more fleshed out characters like she has in Six of Crows, but the plot itself I think is really good. My number 9 series that I've completed is Six of Crows. This is a duology. For a duology, I do think it's really good, and I think that's because we already have more of the world in Shadow and Bone. I think the magic system's really cool. I don't love the plot of this one as much, but I do love the characters. I've gone on and on about this book ad nauseum in other videos, so definitely check those out. But I think the character building, the relationships in this story are incredible, and that's what I love this one for. Alright y'all, number 8 is the New Soul trilogy. This is written by Jodi Meadows. She is a lovely, lovely human. I love her so much. She is over on Instagram at Unicorn Warlord. She is super cool. She is from where I am from, which is neat. I've gotten to meet her, and she has donated a few books to the school that I used to work at. So this is a less popular book on the internet. However, I love it so much. Jodi also wrote My Lady Jane, My Plain Jane, My Calamity Jane. She's in the Lady Janies. Y'all know those books. So she's written those as well, and this is one of her older series. This book is really cool because it deals with reincarnation, and so over the years people's souls are reincarnated time and time again, but our main character, she is actually born and she was not a soul reincarnated, she was a new soul. So this is a fantasy romance based in the setting of the City of Heart, and it includes dragons and also lots of other magical creatures. So if you're a fan of magical creatures, you're a fan of fantasy romance, and you also like the idea of music and reincarnation, I think you'll really like this one. All right, number 7 for me is Throne of Glass. Yeah, so I technically haven't finished the series. I still have Kingdom of Ash left, but like, I know it's gonna be good. Just don't come at me. I really, really love this series. For me, the best book in the series is Tower of Dawn. If you like A Court of Silver Flames in her other series, you will love the book Tower of Dawn. Don't skip it. Anywho, Throne of Glass is going to come in at number 7 for me. It has incredible world building. You start out in the first book and you think it's something very straightforward and simple, and when you get to the further books along the series, you're like, how did I even start where I started? You know, so I really, really love this series for its complexity. I think its character analysis is brilliant. Its world building is fantastic. So I'm excited to, excited to finish it. We'll pretend that I have. And so yeah, this one's number 7. Number 6 for me is the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. This is solidified so high for me because of A Court of Silver Flames. Spoiler alert, it is my best book of 2021. I'm calling it already. I already posted about it on Instagram. It's been settled. Did not love the first book. It's fine. The second book is good. The third book was my next favorite. I like the novella, and I love A Court of Silver Flames. So I think this series just keeps getting better and better. I can't wait to see what the next one entails, but I definitely love this series. It is rated number 6 for me, basically because of A Court of Silver Flames. Without A Court of Silver Flames, this would probably be more around 10, 11, 12, but it's definitely a favorite. All right, we're getting back to some classics, if you will, some of the original favorites. So this one here is Divergent. This one's gonna come in at number 5. I love the Divergent series. I love the ending to it. Again, I will discuss with anyone who does not like the ending of Allegiant. I think it made so much sense for the characters, so much sense for the world. Anywho, I love this series. I've watched the movies a million times. I know the movies are not as good as the books. Like, we can probably all agree on that. But I think this world is just really cool. I love reading dystopian. I love reading about what our world could be. And I think this is a really good one. I love the character 4. He's one of my favorite book guys. So this is definitely an original favorite series for me, and it stood the test of time. Another favorite that stood the test of time is this one right here, which is the Hunger Games series. Where are my original trilogy? Lord only knows. But I do have this one on my shelf, which is a prequel to The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is one of those books, as well as movies, that when I watch it or I read it, I cry because it's unfair. I cry because I hate what the characters go through and their struggle. I love the story. I love when there's a competition aspect of the book. In this case, it's not a good thing that there's a competition, but y'all know what I mean. I really, really like this series. I think the characters are excellent. I think obviously the stakes are really high, and it's very bingeable. It's one that you're going to want to keep reading and reading and reading. I also really enjoyed the prequel. The Hunger Games original trilogy is entirely plot driven for me. This book is entirely character driven. So just know that going into it, this is character driven. It's not as high action as the other books. While there is still action, this is much more about the character. All right, oldest classic favorite coming in here at number 3. This is the Uglies trilogy. I guess it's technically a quartet, but original 3. This book, oh man, y'all, this series is so good. This is one of the ones that came out when I was in like middle school, and I read it then. I have probably read this entire series 10 times, and I am completely obsessed with it. I try to shout from the rooftops about this series as much as humanly possible. So this book is about a girl named Tally and her friend Shay, and the community that they live in, this is a dystopian, essentially, the community that they live in, everyone is born ugly, and you have to have a surgery that makes you pretty, right? And so that kind of keeps everyone in submission as a society. But being pretty obviously isn't all that it's cracked up to be. There are some very interesting things about what happens when you go under that surgery, and what happens on the other side. So this is a really great dystopian series for teens. I still love it. I think it has great social commentary, and I would recommend this for so many people. Petition to get this like all over the internet again. So this is number 3 for me. Alright, number 2 should be no shock to y'all. It is the Truly Diva series, which I've talked about 9 million times on the internet. This is a series about our main character Stevie, and she is a true crime aficionado. She is trying to solve a murder mystery from the private boarding school she now goes to in Vermont, and she's also trying to solve a current modern day murder mystery as well. This is a fantastic book. It's a YA mystery book. I think anyone would love this. I don't know anyone who doesn't like it. So this is definitely number 2 for me. There's 4 books in this series. I've loved all 4 of them equally. This is not one where the first book is the best and then it drops off. I think it gets better and better and better. I would recommend this to everybody. This is my number 2. All right, y'all. Number 1 is Scythe. Scythe is an amazing series. I'm rereading Thunderhead, which is the second one right now, and I plan to reread The Toll, which is the third one, right after that. These books get me out of a reading slump every time. If I don't know what to read, or I've been reading like 8 to 10 books, which I have been doing. I opened 8 books in the past like month and finished 0 of them. I opened up Thunderhead and immediately was like breezing through it. So this book is a dystopian series about people called scythes, which are essentially people who glean or kill other people in order to keep the world's population down. I know that sounds really morbid, but the idea is that humanity has solved all of its problems: poverty, hunger, death, all of those things. They don't exist naturally anymore. So scythes are hired as people who are the best of the best in society to make choices about who to glean in order to keep society at a small enough number in terms of population for the world. This book is insane. The second one is the wildest book I've ever read, Thunderhead. It's absolutely wild. And then The Toll is just a beautiful ending to the series. It's super good. Honestly, no series that I've finished collectively as a whole has topped that. So for those reasons, Scythe is my number 1 favorite series that I have finished and I have on my shelf. All right, y'all, so those are my top 13 series that I have finished on my shelf. I'm so happy I get to tell you guys about all these series in one video. Some of them don't get as much love on the internet as other books, so I hope you guys found something new that you would like. Hopefully something that I talked about inspired you to pick up a book to read. If you have read any of these, please let me know your favorites. Let me know your top finished series down below. If you are a fellow booktuber, feel free to join in and film this video as well. So yeah, I had fun ranking these series with you guys. Definitely leave me a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, click the bell. Y'all know the YouTube mantra. Any of those really help me out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!